Best would be the first title always. I think 2016 Belgium Open was so close to my heart because that is the tournament that put me into the limelight. People were remembering only the country. A player from India then became Satyan Yanashekaran. So 2015 Commonwealth Championship was a very emotional tournament. I think the very same, almost the same day. I think one day earlier, Ankita's father passed away and mine, and then we had to play Commonwealth Championships in almost 1 month after uh, the demise. Baby steps, yes, into the 60s, but the goal would definitely be into first break into the 50s, and you never know. I can even get into the top 20s. I always said and always felt India has its best chance to win an Olympic medal, to win an Asian Games medal. Of course, there is a single chance, but then the best chance for India is in the doubles and the team events.
But just to kickstart the interview, I had few questions that I had just written some pointers. So now you're the first Indian singles paddler who has 5 titles in 5 countries. How did you manage that? And which one is your favorite?
I mean, it's really hard to pick one favorite. If you ask me, everything is like a body part to me. It gives me that kind of energy. But yeah, I mean, it's been a long time. 5 titles came in like almost a decade. I think that's what matters. That you being in the sport for such a long time and then having that international wins year after year shows that you're improving, because if you have to win titles internationally, you really need to keep improving, keep at it, and play your best. And yeah, for me, I think the best would be the first title always. I think 2016 Belgium Open was so close to my heart because that is the tournament that put me into the limelight, and kind of I was unseeded, nowhere in the fray. People were remembering only the country. A player from India then became Satyan Yanashekaran after that win. So I think Belgium 2016 will always be very close to my heart. And but yeah, I mean, every tournament has its own speciality. Playing under pressure, having a comeback kind of a win, and yeah, I mean, really happy to be the first Indian, and I'm pretty sure with the young talent we have, I won't be the last Indian to have this kind of records.
Right? So I think before 2016, you won Commonwealth in 2015, isn't it? If my memory serves me well, this was a
Double
mixed doubles gold that you were in Commonwealth
2015,
Championship with Ankita.
yeah.
How was that experience? I mean, what did you kind of remember of that victory? Or I know players remember all their victories, but it's been a decade, so I just want to take you back there.
Yeah, I mean, yes, 2015 Commonwealth Championship was a very emotional tournament. I think, myself, Fan,
I
and
think you lost your
Kita
dad
lost
before
their
that, and
parents, the very same, almost the same day. I think one day earlier, Ankita's father passed away and mine. And then we had to play Commonwealth Championships in almost 1 month after the demise. It was the tournament. So we were not even sure we'll be able to participate. We were in such a kind of a trauma. But then going there, and I told her, we have nothing more to lose. Match is what maximum we can lose. We need to play that like that, and give out our best. And this is for our fathers who have supported us. And I think that was a very special tournament. Both of us never partnered much before, but then in Commonwealth Championship, we played couple of the, but then never a major event. So we have known each other, and we just played like there is nothing to lose, and the game which came out there was fantastic. And winning a very major event right after a tragedy gave us a lot of confidence to that we are there, we are back, and yeah. The Surat Commonwealth Championship gold medal in mixed would be very, very emotional win, I think, myself and Ankita, and for India in that aspect.
I'm sure. And if I again remember correctly, you were the first Indian to kind of reach the world top 25, and
Ye-
I think
First Indian,
from
yes. First.
yeah, right. I mean top 25, and then from top 25 you moved back to like 115, 190s, and then you jumped back to now. I think you'll be back in 60s, 65,
Yes.
something like that. Right? This
Yes.
tomorrow probably.
Yeah.
So how has this been the whole journey? From being probably the top Indian and then now being the most experienced Indian in the men's singles category now after obviously Sharat moving out.
Yeah, I mean, already I'm the oldest player probably in the team right now. It feels like you've been there for a very long time. Yes, I think the graph was very, very steady until 2022, 23. I was constantly improving from when I joined Raman sir in 2012. I was 400 in the world. And then in 2015, somewhere around 150s, 2017, like, 120s, and 2018. I was in top 50, and from there in 2019 I was in top 25. So then maintained, around top 30, 40 for almost like 5, 6 years. So it was a great journey there. We were constantly improving, working on it. And then, of course, the WDT system came in. We had to make a lot of changes because the tournament structure changed. The training module has to be changed. And of course, with age, your, regime, your capacity to travel and play, and with family time, you need to really balance out things. It took a couple of while, the COVID and injury came up to me, because I had never had a major injury, and then suddenly having a back knee injury, I had to come back from it. It was a tough ask, but mentally I was there. My team from Reliance Foundation really helped me, sports science team, to come back into the shape. And yeah, I love this seesaw journey. Sport is all about that, having wins and losses. That is how is the career, and I'm happy that I didn't give up. So, because playing at the top level and then dropping down and coming back requires a lot of grit, support from your family. My wife, everyone were there. Satyan, you're there still. It's not about the age. You can go, and people are still. I could see that people were still like not even playing, youngsters. They had that kind of fear. Oh, come on, Satyan can all the time bring in that kind of vigor into the court. Then I started to have confidence seeing the youngsters, seeing playing at the top level. Like, you got this. You just need to believe in yourself. And I'm really happy. Baby steps, yes, into the 60s, but the goal would definitely be into first break into the 50s. And you never know, I can even get into the top 20s in very soon.
You the way you mentioned, you reminded me of Kidambi Shrikant. I hope you know him.
Very nice friend of
So,
mine.
so he was the first Indian to actually enter the finals of a BWF World Tour this year, and he lost it. But then, when people were asking him, somebody asked him, people are missing you. He's like, oh, really? People are missing me? So, the way players are so much into them, they don't know how much the fans are actually kind of looking forward to look at them play. And, they remember how they used to play when they were like, at the top of their game. And then you're obviously back probably at the top of your game. And obviously it's an improvement every week you play, right? Uh, I I wanted to ask you about this particular match wherein you almost turned world number two Lin Shindong in Muscat. This was in 2024, right?
Yes.
You were almost there. You want to take me through that match? What exactly happened there? And then, how was your, back of your mind, what happened after the match ended?
Yeah, I mean, first seeing at the draw, I was like, oh, come on, I have world number two, Lee Shidong, in the very first round. It's such a tough draw. I was playing well, and I was like, okay, I think the pressure will be on him. I just need to go out there and express myself. And I started really well. I was hitting the ball very well, 2-0 and 7-1 up. I think it was almost like I was like probably almost had one leg on the finishing line. I had to just cross over. It was that close. Yeah, I mean, I think I did play a little passive, or I would say probably couple of points I started to overthink. But yeah, that excitement was there. Beating such a top player, and yeah, I lost out that set very, very close. Credits to Lee Shidong as well, the way he composed himself with the age of 20, handling that pressure. And but it was a great match. I would say the way I played and competing against the best, I felt like I was back. I was back at the very best shape, even though I lost the game I played. And after that, I lost that third set, and then he got into the rhythm. Then it was very difficult to come back against such a top player, and I lost in the decider. Yeah, it was a very tough loss to have been that very close to having a great victory and then going down. But nevertheless, it was such a positive to play at that level with a strong player. And I'm sure these kind of things is what gave me that confidence that I could come back, enjoy the game, and Playing at that level for me more than the rankings. I always enjoyed beating the top players, beating those strong Chinese, beating those strong Europeans, beating those top 10 players. That is what has given me such a confidence and such joy when I play in the international level.
I want to ask you about one thing. So, I think you have also mentioned about this. There are certain matches or certain tournaments that you are expected to play, or they're mandatory to be played, right? The whole structure, can you probably explain that to a layman? What is the expectation here? And then there are matches week on week. I'm sure you need rest as well. So how does it exactly happen? Probably if you can explain that.
Yeah, I mean, WTT system is a little dynamic. They have made they have tiers of events. ITTF did have tiers of events, but WTT has more kind of tournaments now. There are almost tournament every week. The calendar has like 45 tournaments in 52 weeks. So it's really good they're having such kind of exposure. But they have the topmost, the WTT Grand Smash, which is very similar to the Grand Slams in tennis. So these are the mandatory events. Though the mandatory has been little relaxed this year with, you have to withdraw within a week of the deadline. There are some rules which have come in. But in general, the 4 Grand Smash is important, mandatory. And then they have the 6 champions, which is for the top 32. I think you have to play at least 4 out of that. So Grand Smash champions. And then they have the WTT Star Contender, which is the 3rd tier. Sure. Then the 4th tier is WTT Contender. And then the final tier is WTT Feeder. So you really need to play in this. And to be able to play the Smash or the champions, you need to play a lot of Star Contender, and Feeder events. So you invest a lot, you play there, you grow your rankings, and then you are seeded better in the Smash, and also you get to play the champions. So champions is the cream, like top 32. I have played 2 champions. So very few Indians have, competed in the champions WTT event. It's a prestige to be there competing against the best. And now with the WTT tournaments, it's spread across the globe. So before we used to have like an Asian circuit where in summer, you go to China, Japan, Korea, you play 3 events together and you come back, train, and then play the European circuit probably in November. You have like Sweden, Germany, and it's fixed. It's very few tournaments. It's fixed in which part of the year it's going to happen. Now we have one tournament playing in Nigeria. We fly to Tunis, and then from Tunis we go to Brazil, and from Brazil we come back to Laos, and Laos again to Europe, and then come back to play India. So you almost you never know which time zone you are in. And the tournaments are being spread across the globe. Also with the Indian tournaments now being given a lot of importance for the team selection. So the tournaments and the traveling has become much, much higher with the kind of schedule we used to have. So the training time has gone down drastically. So that is the bigger challenge. So you need to really plan your calendar accordingly, have very short burst, intense training, have to recover faster, come back into the matches, recover faster. So this is the adaptation, for the older generation, I would say, plus 30s, we've seen ITTF events, WTT. I think sport changes, of course, you need to adapt to it. And it took some time for a lot of people, but it's interesting the way they showcase the events in WTT. It's really fun, social media presence, for the viewers, it's been really good, different challenges. But with these mandatory events and with this tournaments, having back-to-back tournaments in different parts of the world, it's been really challenging for athletes. And that is something which we have been working on to really put up a best show.
I was just remembering you had a fantastic week in US Grand Smash, right? You were in the qualifying 1, qualifying 2, qualifying 3, main round, Manav. Yeah. Right? I mean, 4 matches, all good matches. I mean, it must have been a good week. And I think, again, not going back to rankings, but then you really had a really good time in the US Grand Smash over there.
Yeah, certainly. I think that was the best tournament I had in the recent past. Having a tournament like that in a highest level in Grand Smash. I won a couple of feeders. I played well in feeders, but then having performed well in the Grand Smash kind of an event gave me that confidence that I beat Matthias Falk, who's a former silver medalist in the World Championships, having beaten the one of the top players in US, having beaten Manav, also gave me a lot of confidence. We've been in good form. So these kind of wins, and I put up a great fight with Zhang Peng, the world number 10. That was a great tournament, which gave me that confidence to move into the next WTT events. Yeah, it's always fun to play the event like Smash. They organize it so well. It's so grand. The name has it, and the people there, and it's organized really well. It was a lot of fun. There's certainly more smashes in the game will take the game to the next level, and it has better prize money. It has better points. Which really catapult you to that level. And I really enjoyed playing in US, especially after a long time.
And in any athlete's life, I'm sure injuries are a part and parcel, and you have had your fair share as well. You made a comeback. I think you had a back injury in 2020 after the 2023 Asian
Sure.
Games, and then you kind of not keeping well for some time. Then you had a tough phase, which you then obviously came back from there. How important is it to have a good support system? Obviously, mentally your family can be there, but in terms of financially as well, how probably having an ONGC or a Reliance Foundation, how have they been supporting you?
Well, in that sense, I've been really lucky, I would say, the way I've received support. It's really important. Yes, like you said, the mental support from the family is always there, from your team is always there. But I think to have the financial backup, even when you're a little bit on your, not on the greatest of forms, which gives you a lot of confidence when people around you support you and back you, not just by words, but by actions, that they really mean it, that you can come back. Having that belief, giving that support gives a lot of belief in you. I think that is what Reliance Foundation did to me. They knew that they were provided with the proper sports science team, mentally, physically, with the diet. They knew that how exactly an athlete has to be, training and doing things when he is injured, how to come back, at the right time. And yeah, I joined Reliance in 2024 when I was just coming back. And ONGC has always been my backbone. I think that is one of the reasons why, coming from a very academic, middle class family, having a job really made things easier to, kind of continue the sport. I'm an engineer who was
I was
almost.
about to say,
Uh,
unlike a lot
yeah,
of
so I'm an
athletes,
engineer. I
yeah.
got ONGC job when I was doing my engineering. I think they really changed lives. After that, my parents were not worried about what future I might have, and then I also started to play a little more freely. Sport was not the same. Now, what system we have, the support system is fantastic now. Where 2011 is when I joined ONGC, it was little kind of nascent stage. It was growing up, and to kind of have that bold step at that time was a big call, but I'm pretty happy. I've made some big decisions, bold decisions in my life. And I think ONGC, taking up the ONGC job and plunging into that sport world was one of the biggest decisions I made. And I never expected I would be at this level, but yeah, ONGC and companies like Reliance, my family, has really played a major part in me. I had my fair share of, like I said, 2016, I went down, came back very strong, had some fantastic 5-6 years, again went down in form in 2023, and then had some good wins, after that as well. So yeah, it's pretty important to have a system, to have a routine, irrespective of what you're doing. And I think that is what a sport is all about. You just play, be in the present, do what needs to be done. And like I said, the winning and the rankings will take care by itself.
So you're one of those who actually ONGC didn't recruit because you do TT, right? But you actually went into ONGC and played table tennis from there. That's
No,
interesting.
I was recruited through sports quota. Of course, I was very good in
Now,
juniors. But then they also see the degree, like qualification,
uh,
is also needed there. So when I had the qualification degree and the sports medals at my juniors, both combined, they gave me the job at a very young age. I was recruited when I just turned 18. So I think that really gave me a confidence to pursue the sport at the biggest level.
nice. I feel table tennis is one sport wherein singles and doubles are very actively played by the same player, right? Compared to, let's say, a badminton or a tennis for that matter, you will have specialists. But India right now is doing pretty cool in terms of your double specialists. They're not specialists, but double specially. Like, you have Manush, they're like world number 7 right now. Then you have
Yes.
Manush and
Yeah.
Dia, world number
Yeah.
7. To yourself, and I hear that Akash Pal, who apparently is the best doubles player, is what I heard here during the UTT. You won a title which is contender in Lagos, right? How difficult it is to kind of move from a singles to doubles within the sport.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a very unique challenge we have in table tennis. Like you rightly mentioned, tennis and badminton has a very different structure. The doubles and singles players are different. The courts, the system itself is different. In table tennis, one of the thing is it's not very physical like tennis or badminton, and that is one of the reasons even the top players play singles and doubles. And India has a very peculiar rule in table tennis that you can play one ball and your partner has to play the next ball.
Has to play,
So
yeah.
you can't just keep playing. Unlike in badminton or tennis, because of the court size as well. So the chemistry between your partners is very very important in table tennis because you need to keep that movement going on. The sync going on. If you miss the sync and the moment, it's really really difficult. In fact, doubles is far more difficult in table tennis to be played. So we have Indians always having that good chemistry between each other, and the understanding of the sport is very good. That's why you see a lot of double success in the past. Even me and Manika were like world number 5. Manika and Archana have been world number 4. We have won big medals in WTT. Me and Sharath have done well. So I think me and Harmeet won WTT Tunis contender title. So, and recently with the young chap Akash, he's been fantastic. The way he's hitting the ball hard, it reminded a little bit me of Sharath, and that kind of power in his strokes is fantastic to watch. And he's really fearless. This generation, I really like the fact that they don't care about what the score is. They don't care about what is the scenario, and they just go out there and play their heart out. That's one thing I learned. And playing with Akash was such a pleasure to beat a very good French pair. I'm really happy with the double success. And I always said and I always felt India has its best chance to win an Olympic medal, to win an Asian Games medal. Of course, there is a single chance, but then the best chance for India is in the doubles and the team events. So the focus has to be a lot on the doubles events where we can really bring in a lot of medals at the top level, and I'm pretty sure you could see the results for it. And it's very very difficult to switch, like you said, to play a singles match and then suddenly like 1 hour later we play a doubles match. So the mindset has to change completely. You really need to have a different set of goals, strategies for the doubles, and then again switch back into singles. And again mixed doubles, men doubles is again different. So it's a very very challenging area. But I think table tennis is all about that, right? Quick adaptation, quick decision making, and doubles is that gives you more of that, because you really don't have time. You need to really almost move and play at the same time. It's kind of that kind of quickness. And I always enjoyed playing doubles more than singles, and it gives a lot of thrill and fun when you play doubles at the highest level.
Thanks. So I think the start of 2025, you mentioned that now you're going to see Sathiyan 2.0. So is the Sathiyan 2.0 still there, or are we going to see a 3.0 as well? Because 2.0 is doing really well right now.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. I've been trying to upgrade as much as possible. Upgrade karte, I think I might go into the 3.0 version, because I started after the WTT came in. I really changed a lot of things: my training regime, my diet, my fitness regimes, my practice routines, and playing the tournaments, choosing and playing, not just play all the tournaments. That was a 2.0 version. And then now with this lot of changes, adapting to it. And I'm sure, I have a lot of more years in me. I'm looking forward to LA and then probably beyond. You never know. So 3.0 will probably come up soon and give that kind of a game which I and all my friends and fans have been looking out for.
Great. I mean, I was just thinking table tennis is one sport wherein age practically I don't think so matters. You'll have a 14, 15-year-old as well who will probably go and beat a 30, 35-year-old, or you'll have a 45-year-old as well playing at a decent level. One such scenario, I think, happened with you also, probably National Games final. Josh Modi, 19-year-old guy, or I'm sure he was playing well. He defeated you in finals, and he's not the only one. There are other youngsters as well, and you also mentioned that the young players right now from India are doing really well. So why is it so that table tennis doesn't have an age criteria, like that? There is no barrier, any entry or exit per se.
I mean, at the top level, yes, I mean, Sharath has played. He's one of the kind, one of the exception. That is why he's made it look timeless. But yes, at the top level, it's not easy to keep just playing above 40. Of course, physically, the speed and everything comes down. The physical ability to play tournaments again and again, it's not going to be easy. But I would say the sport as itself has grown in globally and in our country. So the exposure now, what I got in like probably say 21, a 15-year-old is getting. And what 15-year-old was getting, now a 7-8-year-old is getting. So the exposure which has become, available at a very young age, they are now looking at proper fitness training at 7, 8. So then they know what to do. And that's why you see success and the players performing very well at a very young age. And with the sports science now they know what is the workload management. So they're able to, like how Sharath could survive for such a long time. And I think they're able to survive because of the sports science which have knowledge have gained. So they know what to do to be able to play long. And I always felt, yes, it is physical to a large extent, but table tennis is more like a skill game. So it's more mentally, you need to be prepared. It's about decision making. So the more longer you play, the more smarter you become, the more wiser you become, the decisions you make, the skills you acquire really help you. So that is why you see players are able to survive for a longer time because of the skills and because of how the sport has evolved, that you see there is a large age gap between how the players have been playing, and that is the fun part, to be able to compete with a 16-year-old and also at the same time to be able to compete with 40 plus, and I'm somewhere probably in the middle right now.
Just at the right age. I want to ask you about the professional leagues, right? Obviously, I want to talk about UTT as well, but then it all probably started with IPL and then everywhere kind of followed. But UTT is slightly different in terms of how it's done, how it's managed, and obviously, I think UTT now has a partnership with WTT as well, wherein there'll be more tournaments in India. So I want to talk to you about that as well. But before we get there, I want to understand in terms of how has your experience been playing in UTT? And I think you played with Dabang Delhi and you rejoined them. I think I was there in the auction. There was a bid war, and then they kind of used their card to get you back into the team. So how good is that to have a team which has confidence in you? And how was the experience this time when you played for them?
Yeah, I mean, for me, UTT has all been only Dabang Delhi. I think I'm the only athlete, who's played for the same team, all seasons. They have become more like a family. I always chat with them about, their kabaddi matches. Even we speak a lot of things apart from table tennis. They become that close, and I'm really happy the way they've had that confidence in me for so long, so many years that they were pretty sure even before the auction, Satyan, we don't care about how the auction goes. We want you in the team, and that's where the plan starts. And I was like, it's not going to be easy with this auction kind of a system. We need to plan, because before it was retention and it was a very easy call. They said, okay, we take you.
Yeah.
Now with retention, Dia and me both were important. So, they had a good plan, and we were happy to have both of them in the team. So it's really special to play for the same team, have that feeling, to build that brand to the team, to build that brand to the UTT, and to like how Dhoni played for Chennai for so long, and to have that franchisee. It's really nice to have that, build that franchisee legacy playing for Dabang Delhi, and I'm pretty sure, I think for many more years I can continue in Dabang Delhi till my career ends.
Delhi is known for food, so I am sure they're feeding you well there.
Oh, no, I mean, definitely. They are a very fun team. They never had any kind of any pressure on the team. They've always been so nice as a family, pushing each other and having that daily vibe of always, celebrating every win, being there when you lose. And yeah, that's why we had great success. We reached playoffs every season, and we have won the title. And I'm pretty sure we'll do better in the next season.
I was there. I was there in Ahmedabad when UTT was happening, and I remember. I think it was against Gujarat, if I remember correctly. Dia was playing Ananya, and there were drums, and she was losing. And from there, she made a comeback and she won the match. It was like surreal. The whole experience, the way UTT was held this time around was pretty decent. I would really commend the way it's all done in a whole as a tournament. So, going ahead, like what is Satyan looking at? What are your bigger goals? I'm sure you've spoken enough about rankings and we're not discussing rankings at all. But what is it that you're looking at this year and probably LA 2028 as well? I know it's slightly, uh, you know, too early to talk about LA 2028, but then the preparation starts, right? So I'm sure it's there in your mind.
Well, I mean, certainly LA 2028 is the biggest goal we're working at. Yes, it's 3 years. Can run by very fast. You never know in sport world. But now the immediate goal is the Asian Games in 2026. That is the next goal. That's why I started. I didn't play a lot of tournaments in June. It was a conscious decision to train well, rest, prepare, recover, play very few tournaments, and then start my journey when the from July, where you have that qualification period starting for the Asian Games. That was the goal to start. And the goal right now is Asian Games. And yeah, one of the ranking goal is, of course, to be in the come back into the top 50. But apart from all this, the bigger events, for me, I'm really loving the sport. The way newer version I'm playing, able to explore the sport in different ways with the skills I've acquired, trying to learn new skills even at this age, work on my fitness, have that grinding again. So that is something very, very fun. I really like the way enjoying the sport very much, and that's all I care now. I really love the sport so much. I have lived academics. I started to realize why I started playing the sport. When I was so good in academics, I could not sleep without playing the sport. So I started to remember these things. That is what is the core about. So enjoy the game. I really love listening to the sound of the ball. That gives me that happiness. So that's all I care about. And rankings and winnings will take care by itself as long as I love the sport and as long as I keep working to constantly improve.
Okay, some quick ones. So, your first professional win, do you remember that?
Professional
On
win.
ITTF or WTT? I mean, I'm sure earlier it was ITTF. So, your first professional win, do you remember your first professional win? And who was it? Difficult one, I guess.
Professional, very difficult to remember. But I think for me, a biggest win was the 2008 Commonwealth Youth Games when I was 15.
Okay.
So when I was just 15 years old, I remember that as the changing point in my life to have a big win. So in Pune, 2008, the Commonwealth Youth Games was the goal. First ever tournament was when I was just 12 years old. I played in Qatar in 2005. I was just 12. That was my first international tour. But I would say the first big win came in 2008 in Pune.
And which is the most memorable win up till now? Or is it's yet to come?
I always say it's yet to come, but very difficult to choose. If I have to choose, I think the 2018 Asian Games bronze against Japan, because that was a very, very special win. We've never won it. So having, helping the team winning 2 matches against Japan in 2018 Asian Games, that was my very special moment. And the 2022 Commonwealth Games singles bronze, the third and fourth place. I've never teared up or cried in the court. It was the first time, happy tears started to come out. So, that kind of a match against Drinkall. So, yeah, I would say these two are very, very special wins for me.
Heartbreaking loss? Or do you don't kind of get heartbroken?
Oh, I mean, there's been so many. It's really difficult to also. It has, our losses have been more. In fact, of course, during wins. I would say the Tokyo Olympics singles after leading 3-1 against Hong Kong Lamb and then going on to lose 4-3 in the deciders in the Tokyo Olympics. That was one of the toughest losses for me. Very heartbreaking. It took a while to come back from that tough loss.
Last one. A dream that you do not want to be real.
A dream.
I'm just trying to think some difficult questions for you.
A dream not be real. I mean, okay. Dream is never stop playing table tennis at the at the
You
international
want to
level.
break Sharat's record probably.
No, I know it's impossible, everyone, but that's like a dream. You just want to keep playing timeless. But yeah, Sharad has set a benchmark. I think he has already gone beyond that benchmark. But as long as I enjoy and I just want to keep playing, and yeah, you never know. Let's see. Yeah.
He probably has exceeded his own expectations, I think. When you stand on the table, he's like, hey, I'm still playing.
Yeah, certainly. I was as a kid seeing him and then playing together, and now I've become the senior, and that's now he's quit. So yeah, he's been playing sport for a very, very long time.
Yeah. So great, Satyan. I mean, it was nice speaking with you, and whenever we get time, love to meet you as well. I live in Mumbai, so if you, I know there are not many tournaments happen in Mumbai, but then if there's anything which you takes you to Mumbai, please do give me a ring.
Sure.
So yeah, I wish you all the very best for the future matches, and I really hope you do a good fight back to Manav and come back to top India number one. That's probably that's the most shorter version goal that I can think of. But yeah, I'm very happy that you are making good comeback, and I was really ecstatic the way you made that week of US Grand Smash. I mean, we created the graphic over there. I'll send across to you again, but that
Definitely.
was. And I am sure I hope you have many such weeks going forward as well. So yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
So thank you so
bye.
much. All the very best to you. Keep doing and doing, guys, doing a great job, and keep doing and keep encouraging a lot of sports persons like us. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye bye.
Take care. Bye bye. Bye bye.